Sanje Chodang Doji Jonong Lai Shanjo Bado Dana Jetsun Dake Chishi Chebe Tonum Je Rola Penchara Sanje Ndrapai Sho Sanje Chodang Doji Jonong Lai Shanjo Bado Dana Jetsun Je Dake Chishi Chebe Tonum Je Rola Penchara Sanje Ndrapai Sanje Chodang Doji Jonong Lai Shanjo Bado Dana Jetsun Dake Chishi Chebe Tonum Je Rola Penchara Sanje Ndrapai Sho. Good evening again. Now looks everyone has blankets. Good, yeah, keep warm, that's good. Also important to keep warm your feet. India, you important to keep your air. The dogs are important to keep your nose. Your nose warm, then your body is okay. India, you can see that they put something to head, then you're okay. Also, your feet is also very important because our feet is very picky, We need too many socks every day. Change the socks. Anyway, wonderful to see all of you. Are you guys finishing dinner? Good.
I'm following your advice and eating a very light dinner. So I just had these rice crackers for dinner tonight.
Good, yeah. You need to also eat, make sure not hungry. There are also so many ways, Lux, I think the Tibetans, Westerns, different way, right? You need to healthy, but you need to eat also, make sure you're not hungry. Otherwise, you say, I want to be very healthy, then I don't want to eat, then you're hungry all the time. Your body loses the energy. It's very easy to catch cold also. Like that, anyway, it's wonderful. We are very, one of the another good day, we can say just good day. But it was a bad day, stressful day. We just always mention that if we're looking for the stressful things, negative things, we see always negative things. Same thing, then we meditation negative things, That's happened, that happened, that's happened, that happened. Then we have mind become really like crazy. It's very difficult to, shut off that light, the, fire. They will try to not looking for that. Then our minds already destroyed. Then very small things also destroy. Very small condition just make very big deal. Therefore, happy or sad is a lot of things depends on our own mind. If we think this is terrible, it becomes terrible. If we know it doesn't no big deal, then they become no big deal. It is like that way. Therefore, of course, we have to keep things much as we can. We need to gratitude. Gratitude. Gratitude.
Yeah.
Gratitude means what?
To be grateful.
Yeah. I think whatever you have, I think you just gratitude. Not perfect, but you just gratitude. You say, okay. Maybe someone's having the last day yesterday, today, tomorrow. Maybe we hope we are not that one of them. Then we just gratitude. what do you have? If you have gratitude, then also you think of others, then you also have empathy to feel others' kindness. Okay? 뭐야? 안에 사지 좀 되게 늙바제야 뭐지? 개와 포도 소바시. 라게 섬는 요선 너는 사지 땜바이 송으로 와.
So just like Buddha said, do not commit any non-virtuous actions, commit only virtuous actions, subdue your mind, and this is the teachings of the Buddha.
제가 취재해서 갈라 소주 가 톱톱이지. 소주 샘때 아니 내차 셔다 두무 차도 나자 아니 된대가 와도 말어 가 톱톱 제가 나한테 취재하고 있다.
So when you do the Dharma practice, do as much as you can, and make sure that it is not done, with any of the delusions like attachment, anger, pride, jealousy, and so forth. Then, it becomes Dharma practice.
배낭 강도 내 사전 년가 타사지요 나는 파 소소로야 년가도 못보 근도 잘라 똑바로 배나야 지금 거야 나 나도 들반 로고나 소소 telling Magu and Tash College in Royal Washington Park College. And of course, of the Machandona and social thing good, take to look at Topacha and Chandua. Cheta Sabzo, Chin Royal.
So just like, when you have to go to a place where there is a lot of dirt, that you might get dirty. And but if you go if you walk very carefully, you might be able to escape getting dirt on your body. But if you are not careful and if you just walk carelessly, then you might get dirt on your body. Then all your body, all the clothes, becomes dirty.
제가 대나지게 단답에는 가서 다 담블레 죽대 담블레 강한 죽대 대산 죽대 때에 소소 sabza 맞은 소소 셈 죽도 그러와.
So just like that, now the whole world is kind of perturbed. And if you are not careful, then because the world is everybody is disturbed in the world, then you get also easily disturbed.
제가 소소 대나 대야 되는데 소소 담 셈도 많고 제대 빼는 것이 뭐래셔.
So you have to be just like walk very carefully to not get dirty. You just have to be very careful not to be disturbed.
제자는 네게 내서 가시 간도 개개 제도 말은 간도라 개개 제요 말 제자 안에 가로 안에 가도 가지 도드메 비샤오 뭐 보여서 대가도 제스케요 말에.
So there are many situations here that we can't do anything with anything about it. So there are many things that are inevitable. You have to go through it.
제가 담블레게 내서 뭐 보이가도 개 제도 말다 가래변에 빼 차잖아. 다당아도 또염 나들어나 다 나도 뭐요 내 마음에서 가도 가야면 돼. 가 야수카레 소소그 즉 송접 제기 가수 거야 얘나 다 같이 투정원에 가 제거도 제대 되는 거라도.
So just like the COVID-19, is everywhere now, right? So it's really difficult, to stop it. But from our side, individual side, we can we can be very conscientious, be very careful by wearing the PPE stuff, and keeping ourselves inside, distant, from the crowd and so forth. So if we are careful like that, then we can escape, from being infected by COVID-19.
제가 때 네가 접하는 것도 세라라인 바이나 뭐기 출로래 잘로 잡아도 나를 출로 봤던 거 말. 출로금이 상 유조고 말이야. 나 출로 잡아드는 남주 출로 도와 요네 트요나 야 니마 이시짝질라 콘도 출로 때 설도가 됐을 때 내주고. 나 임반하다 가서다 몸은 나사지 돼. 가요. 가war래와 가시.
So like in Sera Monastery, they are not allowed, to go out, or monks are not allowed to go out, and outside people are not allowed to come inside. And if the monks has to go out, and then when they come in, then they will be quarantined for 21 days. But despite doing that, there were some of the monks who were infected by COVID-19. I don't know how they got it.
콘도 그런도 하고 막 찍지는데 이지는데 말았어. 전에 콘도 하고 하고면도.
So they themselves don't know how they got it. Yeah, so maybe they say, maybe I went to this place, maybe it's from there, or maybe I went to that place, maybe it's from that place, and so forth. But they don't know exactly how they got it.
제가 나사대 꼭 그만하지래도.
So this disease is like a thief, quietly coming into your body.
다고 제가 다 그만까 해서도 다 소수고 고기고 야부 자다 다 대야성도 그러.
So in order to stop the thief coming from coming into your house, then the most thing you can do is to make sure that all the doors and windows are locked properly.
제가 단 잠블리 간지 다 뭐다 샘도 참마다 대상 죽되다 가지 야라 그 미래 소소 삼들끼리 로되다. 당 가서 되는 주산도는 가서 주로 된다. 다 마요한테 소소소 샘 다포야 버잡. 아니 소소 사야 돼서 돈야 돼 돈. 아니 소소 제거에 내가 다 제도는 다때 나도 단다. 내가 시주 바지 돼 있어래.
So yeah, now the whole world is disturbed by this disease. So if we are not careful, then we can get disturbed easily also, because everybody is disturbed. And from our side, it's very important, to do what we can, to stop ourselves from getting the disease. Like whatever you can do to keep yourself healthy, like taking proper medicine, vitamins, so the medicines to boost your immune system, or and eating properly, keeping yourself healthy. All these are very important.
제자 안에 다 점점 쭉 같이 디나네 조종도 샘 다보지 않는 빼는 거래 그래.
And especially to keep your mind safe, guarded and safe, by thinking in a proper way, is very important.
제가 대제 다 되는 것도 검토되잖아. 담보도 문주부터 검토다.
And so now we're going to do a little bit of meditation, starting with the breathing meditation first.
안에 대양아도 돈내가 냠내다 자기다.
And that we're going to do, in relation with the Tonglen practice.
다들 삼탄도 나도 누서 간에 남지 저기나다 소소 늘어야. 간제다 소소가 대화요 저기 상제도 상조선 봐 참아요 촬영해요 라고 삼고 그랬어.
And then, so first, how you should start, is by visualizing the Buddha, and any of the Buddha that you feel close with, you feel strong relationship with. So visualize that Buddha when surrounded by all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, very clear and vivid in the space in front of you.
아니 되네 아니다 소소는 더 거라고라 다 생기가 밤에가 좀 배. 심진 참아요 좀 대화 두절 앞에 둥아 라파. 아니 뇽 바탕으로 가는 삼샤고 그랬어.
And then surrounded to oneself are all the sentient beings, including one's parents, of this life, father and mother, and all these sentient beings, are experiencing. Imagine that all they are going through or experiencing a gross suffering.
대지네 아니 대지. 아니 다 나중에 아니 소소 질라 소소다 나세자 나세지 도도라고 뭐네 지 최고 손라고 와 손라고 소소 니가 친구들이요 삼고 그랬어.
And then imagine yourself, the I, and at the very center of the heart, in the center of your heart, and then in the center of your chest, at your heart. Imagine the self or the I, like a solid ball or a glass ball.
그렇지요. 다 solid 랑바이 받지 변하지 다지. 다 그래서 다 던데 변나 다 도도서 그래 나왔지. 간제
도도서는 되다 solid라고.
더 올라가서 말이야. 변나 다 던데 변나 얘기 동아 투 안에 춘타요. 대 도도 대 골라줘. 다 대냠도 가 랑사 매와 차도 다 매와 차로 이거 그래요. 간라고. 만도 지와 소소니가라 센담 팅알아 때문에 나야 다 동병간에 랑 매와 차송 삼을 지금 삼고로 왔다. 되는고.
And so, so imagine yourself, the self, the I, at your heart, and then when you imagine taking suffering, from other beings, all the sufferings and negativities of other beings, dissolve into the I, and then I and all the sufferings that you extracted from others, all dissolve into emptiness.
어제들 이제 나서 지다 지금 다 단단하도 나 거의 하면 돼. 나 지금 소소 셈나 지금 내가 요সম 지 하고도 왔고 때도 사실.
And so you have to create, I. So some kind of like create some idea of I in your mind, and then visualize that at your heart.
보다 더 전에 다 담보 아니 소시 되고. 근데 아니 소소 전에 밤에서 섬제 참아들요. 다들 내고 좀 공하랬어. 아니 뭐 제집에 가려야 다 섬제 참에 그 레제나도 섬지 동안 참아치 덕거도 아니 되게 남바치네 소소 나고는 야르지. 아니 소소 니라야 다다. 나요 티가나 탐지. 아 대통바다 냠도 전에 고라사 매송 삼바치. 아니 뭐 바트가 소소 지지지 다 개와다 레비자 강 이봐야 고까부 나바치네. 섬제 참아라 파포송 삼바치. 오도 제트네 장장 지네 공부다. 파당 추당 파당 추당.
And so when you're doing the breathing meditation, then try to visualize all the things that I just described, like the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas in the space in front of you, and yourself surrounded by all the sentient beings of the three realms. And then as you breathe in, imagine taking all their sufferings, and the cause of sufferings, the negativities and the delusions from them, in a form of a black suit, or black liquid, and they all dissolve into the I at your heart, and then that disappears. Everything vanishes. Everything vanishes at your heart. All the sufferings, the cause of the sufferings, and the I itself at your heart all vanishes into emptiness. And then as you breathe out, then imagine giving all your happiness, all the virtues, the cause of happiness, in the form of a white cloud or white light. And then it strikes to the sentient beings, and they all feel very happy, and they're all free from the suffering and free from cause of suffering, like that. So imagine, so as you breathe in and out, do this visualization.
Okay, now we're going to start, okay? Okay, how's it? That not just only go to go with that. Only go na.
So that's how you meditate on Tonglen or taking and giving.
Okay, oh, that's so.
Jennifer, you had some question?
Yes, Geshe, may I ask a question?
Yeah.
Why for that meditation, why do we visualize the merit field in that type of meditation?
제가 돈을 든데 삶을 다야네 소소라야 전업 쇼 팽그레스.
So it will help to get the blessings.
야 대야죠. 대야 삶도 지에나 소소 눈에 산지 산지 삼바 두손에 두간에 거쇼. 대야 쇼치라 파도 쇼치 산지 담라죠. 대야 어투 아니 소소라 템지. 단다 산지 시리도 코라도 탐려와. 되게 거는 야 뭔가들 마트. 애는 간줄 링하게 되게 딱세야 두시 something 하기요.
So also you can visualize the lights emanating from the hearts of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas in the space you have visualized, and then the light come down to oneself and all sentient beings, and thereby purifies all the negativities, all the sufferings like that. You can also visualize in that way.
Okay. Okay, 다들 어디서 다두 전 삼로 땅에 땅 알아서 보나. 아니 semje 참마당 고외 동안들 마트나 타면도 삼배. 아니 소소양 고외 동안 연구해 봐 삼로 땅에. 아니 고와라 타고도 삼배 삼박 삼로 깔에 잠고 nganga 슈슈 제주고 지나 가도 다 민주에서 깨워라.
And so thinking about the suffering in this way of oneself and all sentient beings, and wanting to free oneself from the sufferings, all these sufferings, without any effort. When you have developed that thought without any effort, then you have visualized. You have developed a renunciation.
제다 안에 루나세지 가디 도와나 땅간도 람. 시동 람 것은 정아요래. 대난에 딱고 람 쉬다가 가지 고야다 람가로 아니 람 담보 처럼 세 주도요래.
And so, as you generate the renunciation, then you enter into a path. We usually call it 15 paths of the 3 vehicles, 5 of each vehicle. But anyway, in general, there are 5 paths. And so the first part is the path of the accumulation.
아니 되네 아니 소소는 뭐 속강 싸거와데 아니 되네 싸네 아니 되네 다 이빠데 야 또바데 저르치나 아니 존엄tom도 그래.
And then during that time, whatever accumulations of merit that you have to accumulate, you accumulate, and then with that, when you have accumulated sufficient merit, then you will go up to the next path. That's called the second path, the path of preparation.
When I don't the possible the tambo nena the tambo cups the shigo kan shivana tea mishimukanga sent over. That's another nipa pound this one over it.
It's just like going from class to class or moving up to the higher class. So when you have studied everything on the first grade, and you have cleared all the ignorance of not knowing the things in the first grade, then you have already known everything. You have cleared all the ignorance, and for the first grade, then now you move up, to the second grade. It's just like that.
Okay, 다 저런 건 내가 다야. 다 그런 누구다는 소는 거 초사가 이시가 초사가 막 강사 소소간 메가와치. 아니 단 돈놈이야 도토도 삼을 걸어야 아니 고 돈놈이 아파도 그래서.
And then also during the path of preparation, you do all the accumulations of accumulating the merit and the wisdom, and and abandoning all the obstacles, the interferences or obstacles. And then when you have done that, then you move up to the second and third path, the path of seeing.
아니 다 돈놈 가다 수술 내가 치고 빵거야 간가 빠. 아니 고놈이야 도야라 파르치 감가 메와서나 고 고놈 받자는 거래.
And then in the path of seeing, do all the practice that you need to do, to accumulate merits and to to overcome the the obstacles. So once you have done that, of the path of seeing, then you move out to the path of meditation.
아니 다 고놈 가다 아니 집빵거야 상제발라 아니 고 파르치 강 요바도 타마 가디 메와서나 아니 몰람람스 몰람람스 다 상제레스. 다 좀 받아 자는 거래.
And then on the path of meditation, you meditate or generate all the realizations that you need to generate, and abandon all the obstacles that obstructs you from becoming enlightened. And so when you have done that, and then you move up to the fifth path, the path of normal learning, where you become fully enlightened or fully liberated.
아니 전에 내가 쳤다 내가 맞더니.
After that, you're all done. You have finished all your job.
제가 너도 가르나 생부연대 생부연대.
So these are all the qualities, the good qualities of the mind.
와 생부연대 지 공매 공부 대 공매 공부 개부 야야 로요리다.
So this is is developing the qualities, good qualities of the mind. So you develop one and then move up, and then develop another one and then move up like that.
근데 지나도 이제 생부연대 야 공부도 하고 되죠.
So do you realize that the good qualities of your mind are increasing? Do you realize that?
Or bad minds.
Bad qualities.
More gross like ignorance, attachment, anger, jealous, hatred. Yeah, Deborah?
I notice, and other people tell me the same thing, that as your mind quiets down, you notice more difficulties in the mind. And I don't think it's necessarily that you're getting more, but you're just more aware of them.
그래서
맞아, 마오노도는 술도 쓰더라. 마오노도가 말했어. 가래서는 가서 당내만 하 먹어라. 당 망서 하고 가라. 되든 막 하고 가면 저기 마오노도가 말했어. 하고든 거 통과하라.
야야야
내만 하고 매서 거 통과하 말아.
야 됐다.
제마다 다 하고 이제 때는 거 통과하라. 때 통도 그런데 그 마오노도는 소가 지다 마오노도가 말했어.
야 되다 그만으로 그렇게 말해. 이나 내가 나도 딱그 예바에 막 통과해 말아.
그다음에 마오노도 쓰기라더네. 그래서
마 로드도 쓰기로 와. 이나 시단 로드 쓰기로 와. 이나 다테 하고와도 그 마오노도 그렇게 말해.
Yeah, so yeah, that's possible too. You already had attachment, and you didn't know that was attachment. That was a bad quality of mind. And you thought, oh, that's a good. And then later, when somebody told, oh, that's an attachment also, and then you say, oh, okay, I have these bad qualities of mind. So that's possible also. But then also you can still increase. You can have more attachment than you used to have before. Like that.
제가 내마코 뇨모 바코 벤나 벤가도 마게와 체세데 코 뇨모레서나 다 마보 켈랑 말와 벤나 나자세데 두부르 야포 말라나 말 나자 고르서 맨나 밑에 소명이 잘 올라가요 여러분 내가 가도 매회 코셔다 다 나자 껴도 더 그렇고 저 마와 저렇게 자다 말다 코 때다다 하고 여러분
Yeah, just like, like in the West here, people think that being proud, of oneself is good, right? Or I'm proud of myself, or I'm proud of, my children or my niece and nephews, like that, because they're doing great and like that. But the pride that we have usually, we call it a delusion. It's a delusion, right? Pride is a delusion, but people here don't know that it's a delusion. It's a bad quality of mind. They don't know. They think you should have a pride. If you don't have pride, then you have no feelings, like that. So then later when you come to realize that, oh, that pride is a delusion actually, then you can see that, oh yeah, that's a delusion in my mind.
제자들은 대배창 라바 등원에 코다 마한 로드 시그다 코 인지 테 마한 로드 게 마타 코 그말라 그만 무슨 거 왔어 그마 코 나미나라 야다 나미 마보여지 그마요나 다 수하고 말아 다 지금 섬니스는 코 그마가 하고 그러 대소로.
Yeah, so just like you said, Deborah, it is possible that it's not increasing, but it's just that they come to realize that they have delusions. Just like when you don't know there's a thief in the house, then you don't know there's a thief. But when you come to know there's a thief, then you realize, oh, there's a thief, right?
Like you city have maybe 10 tips, but before you don't know, but they catch one, then they find another one. Looks more and more. It is already existed 10, but we don't know who are that. Like that. It's good, yeah, Sometimes, like we write the Tibetan grammar is very complicated. I think English is same, right? Before we don't know any, I don't know any, grammar, but you don't know any grammar, you don't have any difficult time. You just write whatever you want. If you know a little bit, then very hard to write. Then, okay, if you write that, this problem is same like that.
Geshe means grammar. Okay, grammar.
Right.
Oh, grammar.
Yeah. So you understood that.
Yeah.
So grandma.
Grammar. Oh, it's a grammar.
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 Mar.
Grammar. 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 Okay, grammar.
Mar.
Like that, okay?
Yes. Thank you.
Yes, Karen.
So what I'm finding is that the more I'm aware of the subtle thoughts that I have, the sort of the background, the more I'm able to quiet my mind and notice all the activity that my mind goes through, I become less tolerant of the gross thoughts, of the all the activities and the distractions, and I just want to be more calm. I don't want to have to deal with all the things that I have to deal with in the world. So have any suggestions on how to, be with that, live with that?
알았어, 왜 고마워.
네, 다 먼저 다 가서 네 삼로 차월 거랑 뭔가 섬당게 알아듣는 거죠. 다음 번에 가서 다 뉴모시아다 그래서 먼저 차월 거 참으라다 샘 참고랑 가서 삼로 먹어 따도 그네 가서 샘 참고랑 마 삼로 먹어 따는 대잠기 되네 샘 라바거데 되네 샘 라바스나 다 뉴모 라바데 되네 소카와도서 뉴모시나 다 네수 라바도서 라디 소카와도서 난 단단하게 단단 가서 네수도 라바라다 네수 라바데 당문도 줄되어라 네수 라바문도 줄되 딜라 땅 지당 가서 샘도 샘 처먹을 삼로당 거데 네수 라바데 거랑 빼 가서 까하고도서 디까가 되네 그래 삼자들이 왜스
그래야 돼. 뭐네 전에 지금 저게 말도 배낭 안줘 배낭 남주 손나 되게잖아. 아니 다 소도 거 거리나 나대 왔지. 그 대오매 왔지. 다 니마지 멤버들은 내바 내 텔레 삽체 지랑 놀았나? 손에 그 제로 그 찍대 그 가로 내는 지금 참말라. 뭐네 전에 들으러 와.
So usually, when you think about the subtle, right, and then you, you face the gross ones, then you forget the subtle ones. You forget, like for example, when you have a toothache, right? Say, oh, I have a bad toothache, and then then you go to see a doctor, and then doctor told you, oh, you have more serious disease in your body than the toothache, or when they tell you about that serious disease, then you are worried about that. Your mind is all involved in that thought about that disease, that serious disease, that you forget about, the toothache. You don't feel the toothache. It's there, but you don't feel it.
제가 도에서 반에 저런 게 빠진 뉴모스 참모도 라파 군이 죽을 징계로.
So you're saying that when you think about the subtle thoughts or delusions, then you get more difficult to tolerate with the gross delusions or gross sufferings.
Sort of the busyness in the world, the having to do all the different things, and it just seems like life is running so fast. There's so much happening. I like the way my body feels when I'm quieter. I just feel like I'm more loving, I'm more tolerant, I'm able to do things that are more important. But when there's just so much going on, so what I'm saying is that the more I experience being quiet and patient and loving, the less able to deal with all the many life busyness.
하고는
자고 봤을 때.
뭐라 가족이 되네 장년년년저다 장바당 그래서 다 지금 뭐야 그 탑시적으로 검도 가족 검수 검거가 다전 대삼게 되네 유모 가서 농어 락바다죠 농어 락바다다 비전 다다당 가서 내당데 내당 도자데 도시여라 내당 도자데 단다 도드는 딜라 되네 배 삼무단에 딜라 가서 삼무 카드지 아들 배 가고 도서 아니 간대정 카드 잡을 텐데 삼무 단다기 내다네
단다기 내다는 간도 도트 매반도래 당간도 도트 매반도래 근데 차와다는 거
다음에 망고슈 차되거라
제자 어디 제자변나 차와다는 것도 개 제대로 말하고 소소 간 마파지면 남고 남라고 빠빠자 가 이거 가요 말아 대도 집안으로 다 단다 될 마다지 당연히 담보시면 봐 소소 그 절로란 죽대 쪽바이나 소소 되나 마주가 답치고리다.
So like I mentioned earlier, Geshe mentioned earlier that that there's so much dirt outside there, and you have to walk through that place, and what you can do is be very careful, not to get dirt on your body. So this situation outside now, so much things happening outside there, is inevitable. You can't do anything. It's happening. You can't do anything, and so you just have to protect or guard your mind to not get disturbed by that.
제가 단된 고백의 주님 삼삼 야도는 삼삼 마도는 고백 주님 예사바지 소소 다나 삼다 대 로고도 섬 가로 엑스타리로 맞춰바지 단된 고백 주님에서 되는 삼.
So how do you protect your mind from being disturbed by that is by thinking about the nature of samsara. The things happens in samsara, the sufferings come and then sufferings go. They sometimes go up, sometimes go down, like the cases of the COVID-19. Sometimes it goes up, sometimes it goes down. So you don't get so excited and just say, "Oh, why happening? Why is like that? Why is that?" Don't think like that. So this is the nature of samsara, and it happens. So there's nothing to worry about. Nothing I can do about it. So this is just the nature of samsara, like that. If you take it easy, then your mind will be more at peace.
제가 빼차셔나 거는 차바당하요나 나도 저 나는 저러면 피게 되는 솔로마 차가로 된소로 차바까야 개요 말하면 똑같고 말아.
So like if you are outside and it's raining and you want to be protected from the rain or you don't want to get drenched, then you come inside the house. And then that's it, then you'll be protected, right? But if you say, "Oh, I don't want to have rain," but then you keep sitting outside, then there's nothing you can do from getting wet.
제가 뒤손으로 다 비철로라 섬 땅 먹어지 소소 샘 철로라 바땅 먹어지 소소 자라네 철로라 바 마땅하지 소소 놀라데 아니 요거데 요 사거데 사 근데 되네체나 아니 샘 마트고 팽그래.
And so don't send your mind out too much, don't watch those news so much. But of course you have to know, what's going on and what you should do to keep yourself safe and healthy. So just go to do your grocery, which you need to do, and then buy the stuff and stay at home, cook and eat, and don't go outside too much, if it's not necessary. like that. If you do those things, then you can keep yourself safe and healthy.
자, 땡원들이 저 담배가 담배를 내서가서 가세 따나 샘 다도 죽어도 제가 미카제 샘 죽어 말해. 배는 안도 배는 자와도 배는 야다 피자 제린 주바지 세조 뜻여제 따에 가오요래. 이나 코도 때 부고 좀마 많이 벌그 샘하고는 그 샘을 초게 내가 말해. 제가 가로 소수 샘 마루도 따는 되게 샘 죽이나 지금 때 마다는 야쇼래. 땡에 가서 그만 줘줘 봐.
So yeah, if it disturbs your mind, then better not watch, too much of news or anything. Like even the movies, sometimes the kind of movies like horror movies, makes you get scared. I can't go to sleep at night, like that, right? So then better not watch those horror movies. And in the violent movies also, So like Geshe was saying, the monks, they like to watch violent movies, where there's a lot of fightings and killings and shootings like that. But it doesn't disturb their mind. They don't get influence to get into those kind of things. But it's just excitement. It's just like a entertainment for that moment only. And they don't believe that it's true, or they don't believe that that's going to be so nice, so good, to be able to fight and kill and so forth like that. They don't believe that, right? So they're just taking it as a entertainment, and they don't get disturbed by that. And if it's like that, then okay, you can watch it. But if it disturbs your mind, then better not watch it.
Like example, me, I'm really scared for skin or no skin, snake. Therefore, even wherever I see snake, I just never go to see that. Even the YouTube, they show some animals. If they snake coming, I just run away. I go to zoo. If there's a snake, I just go away. Therefore, it doesn't destroy your mind. If you I like to watch. Then you watch. Then you just when you come there, the picture come to your mind. Therefore, you couldn't sleep. Therefore, the best way is this is my own experience also. Just don't open that channel. Okay.
Yes, I think also part of it has to do with the fact that I've retired, and I think it's sort of this time of my life where things have slowed down so much that I was so busy before, and I didn't like being busy, and now I'm so quiet, and I don't want to go back to any kind of busyness. And I think it's just getting used to having to take care of myself, having to deal with things that come up. I don't know.
가서 뭐 좋아지.
내가 뭐라 다 가서 내가 돼 가서 내가 공부 쉬어서라 내가 공부 긴거 공부 쉬어줘라. 안데 공부 쉬어서 이제 뭐 내가 누가 말다 내가 제가 말다 다 믹스 체크해야 말았어. 안데 공부 쉬어 통고도 안 가르쳐 가서 하고 내려서 차려도
제가 다 저런 거네는 다 고급 약수도 단다래. 이 말을야 많은 처리. 마치 많은 처리 된 켈레치다. 다 저런 대참아도 되도록.
So this is a very good time for you to do more practice. So commit yourself to do 100 or maybe 10,000, not 100,000, 10,000 Om Mani Padme Hum a day. Commit yourself, and you'll be so busy just trying to finish that up.
Well, I'm already very busy. Right now, I'm actually very busy.
Then there's no problem, right?
Yeah.
Well, I guess what I'm saying is I don't want to be busy.
Oh, you don't want to be busy.
So okay. I want to have a calm mind while I'm doing the things that I have to do.
Okay.
But I'm not.
But you are retired though, right?
Well, yes. Now I'm doing all the things that I wasn't able to do when I was working. So I'm doing all these fixing up the houses, and now my father-in-law's been in and out of the hospital. We're going to be driving to Michigan to go see him, so I'm preparing for the trip, and there's all the things I need to take care of before then, and a lot of things like that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I got. I think sometimes it's good, There are two ways. Sometimes you keep you busy, then your mind become like go that way. Just thinking that. There are two ways, Some people like to busy, some people don't like busy. Usually, if you the best time to your retirement, best time to your practice. But you don't have time, there are also other things to do. Also, good your mind something to good. Otherwise, you're very busy before. Now you just stay at time, then you just very how is it lonely. You have nothing to do. There are good things, something to do every day. It's also good. But anyway, that thing is, 가지 소소 문도전에 제와 마야 소소 쌈지데 가지 가지네 데 제와는 소소 깔래카가 말해.
So anything you do, if you do it willingly, not by being forced to do it, but if you do it willingly, then you don't feel it difficult at all.
제가 되는 깔래 대 섬당당 제와 쇼여 소소 가지 쪼지 제나 깔래샤 가가 말해.
And so so there's a big difference in how you do it. If you do it willingly, then you don't feel it. You don't feel it difficult.
Okay?
Yes, that's the key. Thank you.
Yeah, that's good. Okay. 당가도 뎁도 조긴다. 다 가상가도 이면 로사인 봐. 당가도 다 돈지도 좀 마스기인다 되마.
Yeah.
가상가도 상제 차인 봐. 다 주도 가가 다 좀 톱tar다.
And so we have already gone through all that now in the text. Okay, so now we're going to go to the synonyms.
오야. 다 안에 간도 다 소름지, 대회사지, 타와찬다지. 중국도 또 대주치부 된다 지발에서 강가 소름날라 그래서 봐. 다 되는 거다 다들 말로션 그렇지. 아니 존롬 겐제 야라 겐제 찬다 대응에도는 된다 지발에서. 돈롬 대방에도 아니 돈업이 지진 제반에 되주래서. 아니 고놈 질랑에도 고놈이 제바 되지. 물론 다주면 제바 안 되주. 다도 된다 지발에서. 곰 된다 지가 임발라 아니 고민가 갖다 하셔야지.
So this one it's a synonyms. It's just different terms. That you have to be familiar with. So it's very. So it's just different terms. Used for same meaning, right? And so it says like the path of accumulation, ground of faith, compatible with liberation, and clear realization of doctrine are mutually inclusive. Different terms, right? Different words and terms, names used for that. It's the same. It's a synonym. And then the path of preparation. This is a branch of definite discrimination, compatible with the definite discrimination, and the clear realization of meaning are mutually inclusive. Path of seeing, clear realization of truth, and an exalted knower in the continuum of one on the path of seeing are mutually inclusive. Path of meditation, subsequent clear realization, an exalted knower of one on the path of meditation are mutually inclusive. Path of normal learning, an exalted knower of an arhat are mutually inclusive. Through this, one should know the vehicles individually.
Okay, that's it. 다 오늘 다시 된 거는 누구 전화를 마셔야 그랬어. 다시 다 됐고 다시 잡아먹었지.
So that's that all just different terms used for that names, right? So it's the same, all same meaning. And then number 4 is the etymology. Etymology explains why it's called so and so.
제가 다 안에 고다들라 nenju 가디 제와나 소름통도 그래서 다들 소름 세대.
And so whenever a person develops renunciation, then he or she achieves path of accumulation.
당가도 대화 첨보 자체다. 대화 첨보 자체 직시 자체는 뒤답대.
So we're going this according to the Mahayana path, okay? So it'll be easier if we just relate it with one vehicle.
다 대신지 소름 다 단대 막 nenju 가디 제나 대전 소름 차와 상조 삼바 차와 지바잖아 그래서.
And so in the case of the Mahayana vehicle, whenever you develop the renunciation and develop the bodhicitta, and then you enter into the Mahayana path of accumulation, then you become a bodhisattva, all at the same time.
다들도 라시바다 안에 단대 년들라도 다 년들한테 대전 납셔지. 대전 소놈치 결라 소놈치 이제 예대 타와 토비셔 초소베 남지 동보비지 됐다 지으시르스. 안데 까지 나도
And here it says there is a reason for calling the subject here as a part of accumulation, or you can say Mahayana part of accumulation, but the part of accumulation, the reason it is referred to in that way is because it is the first of the paths where one gathers accumulations, for the sake, of attaining liberation.
Okay. 다 대변아 아니 가로 같이 담에 섬지 아니 속 상제와라 같이 담에도 속사고 뒤가 다 같이 담보고 속 담보데 다 돌아오는 것이고 그래서.
And so it is said that you have to accumulate marriage for 3 countless great eons. And so the 3 countless great eons, it starts from the path of accumulation.
제가 같이 돌아오는 전원이 같이 담보 속사. 마다 삽등은 아니 같이 니바. 아니 다바사도는 같이 스마트는 상제로 그래서.
And so in the Mahayana vehicle, so you accumulate the first countless great eon, first countless great eons, during the path of accumulation and path of preparation, and then the second countless great eons during the 7 impure grounds, and then the third countless great eon is during the the 3 pure grounds.
Okay. 어디지 다 아니 된리가 다 단단하도 속사와대 같이 담에도 손은 누구요 말다. 다 손을 맡아본 곳 삼고요 말이.
So what we are accumulating now, if we have not entered into the path, then whatever we are accumulating is not included in that 3 countless great eons.
이나 다 코티 마티나 같이 텔레 잡혀 쳐겨라. 같이 텔 팽겨라.
Even though it is not included in that, but it does support that, so it does benefit.
단대 속사도 저자한테 맨날 텔레에 토고 말어.
Because without the accumulation of merit and purification of the negativities now, we will not even reach, to start the merit and accumulation of merit for the 3 countless great eons.
오케이. 대치 다 아니 중요 또 그래 손남지. 아니 손남지 다 중요도 가질라 말해. 단대 그거 되지 봐. 아니 추고도 가잖아. 아니 추섬지 두든 쏘 두섬지 떼나봐 내가 이제 됐다 지금 그래서.
And so then it says that there is a reason for calling it a clear realization of doctrine. So why is it called clear realization of doctrine? Is the reason it is referred to in that way is because it is a period in which one principally resolves the topics of the 3 doctrines through hearing and reflection.
추섬사대 가린 사례.
What are the 3 doctrines?
바제 라와섬 코다. 내 라와섬.
So I think they are referring to the 3 trainings.
그리고
The 3 trainings.
그리고
Yeah.
아니 라와섬 다 라와섬지 두든 라와섬 제야체베 아니 라와섬 제야체베 아니 배자당 아니 디탄달라다 조 텔라베 아니 이마에다 아니 다 중요 돌아가래스.
So yeah, it's called the realization of doctrine. It's especially studying the subject, the 3 trainings. With the studying, and then reflecting on the meanings, of those.
오케이. 아니 다 대회 사실 전에 가야되나? 다 추섬주도 하거든. 내가 고도 싫어야 되면도 가지. 다 마보시나네야 특용으로도 다 마보시면 거지. 아니 다 대회 사실 전에 가야되나? 아니 진짜 예대 안에 대소 연락하는 개별 내가지라 미지 됐다 제비셔 들어와.
And then it's called, so there's a reason for referring to it as the ground of faith, right? So the reason it is referred to in that way is because it is the path during which one becomes skilled primarily in the 5 faculties, such as faith.
오케이, 다 대소행하다 가야마.
So what are the 5 faculties?
Okay, yes.
Faith, effort, mindfulness, meditative stabilization, and wisdom.
Okay, 그래서
So faith,
effort,
Okay.
mindfulness,
yeah, correct. 덴바스였어요.
and meditative stabilization,
땡기진,
and wisdom.
아니 shut up.
제사리. 다 대체라 아니 케비 내가지라면 다조
Yeah,
대랑
so skilled in those 5 faculties.
오케이. 단대 다당원에 시다도 내가 소람에 전업사 가이 가르치는 락고 이래서 다대 진짜로 근데 다당원에 시다 원에 지나 다시에 돈당원에 요거 이래서.
So yeah, so this is really good in etymology. Is called it explains why it is called like that.
와 배나 가르치는 소람라 그래서나 아니 와다 같이 담에서 이제 초 담보 사면 고치면 난 소람라 그래서나 꼭 그야 요거도 와.
And so, like for example, why you call it path accumulation? It says it is the first of the paths where one gathers the accumulation of the merit for the three countless great eons. Then it makes sense, right? So why you call it an accumulation?
오케이. 어디 단대 원에 지나서 셈나 스마지 알레 소람 사된 데에 바이 바스. 저놈들이 그내 셈나 선거 원에 셈나 선거데.
So this you have to keep in your mind, memorize it or keep in your mind why it is called path accumulation like that.
배나 안에 딱 같이 yes Bob.
I was just wondering for hearers, is there a time frame that they spend and the path in the same way?
까봤음 말해 근데 연돌라
까봤음
세숨래
세섬로 어로
까봤음 말해 세숨래
세섬사된 라자치 까봤음
말해 까봐 자데냐 라자래
까와자 라자치 아니 년투도 세섬에서래
세숨래 까봤음래 세숨래 들어.
지그래다 대장모도.
Yeah, so the hearers, I think, I mean, they can finish, in 3 lifetimes, and can take up like 3 eons. The soldier risers, they say it's 100 eons, and the Mahayana is 3 countless great eons.
다시 드네라 인삼수.
Yeah, if I remember clearly, it's like that. Yes.
오케이. 다 되지 대소인 아지. 다니 다대 대학고도 알레 니데 빼나 초람고 나가서 빼나 아니 자로 라와섬지 트들랑 개도 아니 대소양 알아양 개도 아니 다 가로 타와 차들 갔나 녀저 보면 고대라 타와서 그래서 아니 녀저 끝도 보면 고대대 답이 차례래서 빼나 녀저 차서 빼나 더 저박한가 보면 아니 타와다 타와로 다치 먹고 들어 대다 녀저 끝도 보면 아니 그 답이 차로 소다 집어봐 제가 다 초람은 나가 대 토바다 지서도 봤나 간제 될어야 메타데 베까버리 센터 그러봐. 아니 대다 타와 찬들라 버려서 타위 차던 tom바. 타와고니 때 녀저 보면 쳔바다 시도 보면 쳔바다 해지. 아니 그다 보면 쳔바다 타와 차던 tom바. 다 될어야 타 녀월에게다 타와 차들라 버려서.
And then also it's called the compatible with liberation, and the reason why it's called compatible with liberation is because it is the path during which one acts in a way compatible with the attainment of the following paths: the liberation that is true cessation, in which one has abandoned the afflictive obscurations, and the liberation which is a true cessation of having abandoned the acquired afflictive obscurations. So the acquired afflictive obscurations are actually abandoned in the path of seeing, right? But you come close, to that, and that's why it's called compatible with the liberation.
제상아도 탈바톱사이도 아니 녀저 가디바나 탈바톱 보여래다.
So in terms of the liberation, just the liberation, whenever you have abandoned the deluded obstructions, then you achieve liberation.
제자 안에 다 녀저 보면 빠와 지듯이 도배다 간지. 다 텔라 탈바고네데 테레스 고델라 그래서 나도 타냐라.
And so the cessation of having seized the deluded obstruction is the cessation. It's called cessation, right? So that cessation is called the liberation.
오케이. 대가데나 다츠마토 바레. 태와침보나 산제로 그래. 년토에나 다츠마토 그래서.
So whenever you achieve that cessation of having seized the deluded obstructions, then you achieve the arhats of the hearers, right? And then when you achieve the cessation of having seized both deluded obstruction and obstruction knowledge, then when you achieve that cessation, then you achieve the arhats of the Mahayana path or Buddhahood, same thing.
알레 다때 오다 다때 리지로 아야 대지 대대 다 촌놈 가지나 촌놈 라바레 가지나 대회사 가지나 타와찬다 가지나 친구 돌아바다 다때 강가 야보도 와 알레 친구도 지내 레야시다.
And so this is good etymology, right? So reason it explains the reasons why it's called so and so. Why is it called path of accumulation? Why is it called what's this? The clear realization of doctrine? Why is it called grounds of faith? And why it's called compatible with deliberation?
아니 다 내가 지 체된다. 친구도 세다 거 다시 좀 친구도 세야 돼. 아니 소라지 쓰다 대니게는 또 아니 다 쓰라야 장을 가다네 친구 돌아버렸어.
친구들 도 말해.
네.
소람들도.
알레 걸 넣었어.
네.
알레 추심지 투등이 또 오다데. 단내 추심 사야 돼. 아니 지대 맞지. 라왔음지 가지 특시 봐야 가로돼. 데네섬 데네섬도 지대로 간지. 아니 라왔음 제야심이 되네서. 제가 데네섬지 투등이게는 것도 아니 측도 장을 가는 아니 중요도 오세.
라바서 말해.
라왔음 제자 들어와. 그 제자라 안에 데네섬라 그러와. 라왔음도 제자치. 로. 데네섬라 그러와.
그래, 데네섬.
어쨌다 때 데네섬.
So
당보들이.
So the topics of the three doctrines. So the topics, is referring to the subject matter, of the three baskets of teachings or the three trainings, right? And so I think when it talks about the three doctrines, it is referring to the three baskets of teachings. So, and among the three, the study, contemplation, and meditation, you mainly you do those of the first two, the study or hearing and the contemplation or reflection, and therefore it's called the clear realization of doctrine.
어제다 다 안에 소름 대회사 다와찬데 중에도 강한 로스도 시도와.
So these the four, right? The four synonyms, right? The path of accumulation, and the clear realization of doctrine, the grounds of faith, and compatible with liberation.
Okay. Good. 다처럼도 단다 마 섬부터 배샤 따 먹었지. 배샤 마다네 알레 데데 인사바 솔라 롤라 코나 아니 주먹원에 팽그래. 소름 가디 더 왔나 내주 가디 잖아 소름 더 버려. 소름로나 가르나 따 튀데 하고 그래.
And so if you just think about the word and then without looking at the text, think about the etymology, right? Why is it called so and so? Then it helps to keep in your mind. So whenever you have generated renunciation, then you have entered into the path of accumulation. And why it is called path of accumulation? And why is it called clear realization of doctrine? Why is it called grounds of faith? And why it's called compatible with liberation?
배나야와도 내줄라나 가르라나 아니 년세가 타와 통도 로트 다 단다 타와 고소 여러분 잡아라 타와라 그래서 다 대통령으로 년세가 되까지나 내주기 와래서.
And so, what is it? What is the meaning of renunciation? The renunciation is a mind that wishes to achieve liberation throughout day and night, right? And what is liberation? The liberation is the cessation, of the deluded obstructions.
What 군인 대화야 보도.
So it makes sense, right?
대대대 다드나 아니 다 대가네 다 저나 소름 덮소리 봐. 저나 소름 덮소리. 내주기 와다 소름 덮어 되냐면 그래서.
And so when you generate the renunciation, the wishing to achieve liberation throughout day and night, and then you enter into the path of accumulation. So developing renunciation and entering into the path of accumulation happens at the same time.
아니 대갑다 저 가래가리 싱그레다. 자 요데 가래가르나 아니 데네섬지 투든 것도 아니 틀에 줘 장그래. 아니 저나 대소 영화를 안 개그래. 아니 가로. 아니 가로다. 영화를 개그래스. 아니 저랑 기쁜에 딱 그래. 아니 여덕도 뻥와라 다 녀야 차로 그래스. 좋아?
And so when you enter into the mind of path of accumulation, then you mainly reflect, mainly hear and listen or study and reflect, on the meanings, of the the word and meaning, of the three baskets of teachings, and then you become a skilled, in the five faculties, for faith and so forth, and you are very close, to abandoning, the acquired afflictive obstructions, and therefore, and so you call, it's called the path of accumulation, clear realization of doctrine, grounds of faith, and compatible with liberation, like that.
아니 다 같이 담에서 속 담보사와 고추용 거래스.
And in the case of the Mahayana path, the Mahayana vehicle, then when you develop the path of accumulation, you start, to accumulate. You start to accumulate the merit, for the three countless gradations.
오케이. 제가 내 내가이도 내 내가 쳐버리셔 가도. 가든 가도 다 타와 도고 타와다 틀이 줘. 어느 타와 가르쳤나? 아니 사제 타와에서 나디나 따던도 배잖아도. 고대들 예저바에 고대다 타와나 그랬어. 다 슈마테 하고 그래.
And so, so this is very, very good, right? Very good, very informative, that, so when we talk about liberation, what is liberation? Sometimes we say, oh, that's the achievement of arhatship. Yeah? But here it's really good, it says as the true cessation. Is that true cessation having abandoned the deluded obstructions. That's called the cessation, that's called liberation.
오케이. 오다 내처럼서 별라 배자 따먹고 저 셈라 안에 단데 안에 닌줄라는 느레지엔 아니 닌줄라는 느레지엔 안에 타발라는 느레지엔 손올라는 느레지엔 셈라치 차와이나 안에 빼야 보여.
So if you get some idea, about what the path of accumulation is, what liberation is, and so forth, then then you get the idea, and then you hold that in your mind. Then it becomes easier to remember that in the future.
오케이. 배는 대야오다 배는 나도 나사라지나 또 단단가도 요라 나도 나기 오마라이나 다 또염 내도들 너무 타마 또염 내도들 타마 탈나 약본도 탄도 올로지어로 데려오러.
It's like and having a wish, to be free from the disease, the COVID-19 disease. So even though we are not, in fact, inflicted by this disease now, but we can have that wish, right? Wanting everybody to be free from that. So that's kind of the renunciation, like wishing, to be free from all the sufferings of samsara.
제다고 나사던 더블 가디 매바 저던 땅도 때 타와 토버래.
And so whenever the COVID-19 is cured completely from the world, then you are free from COVID-19.
이제 다 바지차 대차 탈사 마루다.
But I think it will be very difficult to be free from this COVID-19. It's not going to be easy, right?
단달라 가서 다 자나라 당보 용사들 단다 니마라 자나라야. 뉴스 숨지 니마 따발라 다 가서 코로나서 다 출로 잡으러 제라 가서 고도 다 먹고 가서 얘기해.
And so right now, the cases are going even higher and higher, right? Even in China, where it started from, now every day, like 20, 30 cases going every day, new 20, 30 cases new. And so those are the one that is advertised or, told to the people, but there could be even more cases that are not told, to the outside world.
오케이 제자이나 다 가지 오다 내 원이 소소 섬도는데 고알하다 중국 고알 빼야 온다 다시대.
And so this etymology, is really good, to get some understanding about these paths, and terms.
오케이. 제자 가도 사람 때는 되는 건데 고아 작은 거 맨날 내려셔. 다 가서 가도 너무 마보셔야 되는 고뇨들도.
So the path, when we're talking about the paths and grounds, and I think this is where you really come to understand. You gain some understanding. Otherwise, earlier when we were talking about all those abandonments of the path of seeing and abandonments of the path of meditation, it's very confusing, right?
Okay. Any questions? Yeah. Anyway,
Question.
this is you have to like. Okay, what means? First, we need to understand the renunciation. What is the renunciation means? Wish to free from that. They achieve that one. which from free from suffering, reach to the how you say, cessation. What cessation? Today they explain, right? Then like that. Now, nyedap karadana, and down to the race. Nyedap said.
So cessation, true cessation of having abandoned the deluded obstructions, right? So what is deluded obstruction? I know it's the actually it's the grasping at self, as existing, self-sufficiently, substantially, or as existing truly, and so forth, right? So that's the deluded obstruction.
And the Kazachi on to nyedap lenche on the gompa lenche taji what is.
And then also the innate deluded obstructions that is abandoned on the path of meditation. So all those are obstructions. The deluded obstructions, that is to be abandoned.
Okay, that Kaza Salam going to Tamina, then they to Koa Nyatare, college channel, they got to Koa Nyatare.
And so even if you hadn't had a chance to study the whole thing from the beginning, but at least if you look at this now, then you gain some understanding about these paths.
Okay. Yes, John, you have question?
I am reading
Yes.
the chapter on having zeal for Shanti Deva. And I'm realizing that in order to be in this path, you have to only think of liberation all the time. And it's really difficult and when we live in the West, because there's so many distractions. And I think that's what Karen was talking about, because I am newly retired and it is a whole new dilemma because I don't have to leave the house anymore at 7. I don't have to get home and cook. I don't have to. So now what am I going to do? And people are sort of in this situation now because they're not going to work, some people, because of the pandemic. And it's confusing for their mind. So this is what you're talking about is the delusions. So how do you be free of that? Is that what I'm thinking correctly? And that Shanti Deva talks about now, because I'm reading it chapter by chapter, really trying to dissect it. Zeal. You have to have zeal. And now I understand why you need zeal, because this is pretty difficult to only want to be liberated, to be free of every delusion.
Exactly. Penangazuchi now I know Nasate Mata Padaka nothing nadir was. Nasate Mata Padachipare.
다 탈바톤일로데 거대는 그거라.
Tawa Tondo Tawa Tondo Tawa Ton Yagaro. Tondo Lomina Ton Yagmaro. Todo go.
다 탈바톤들로 끼워와라. 누만 통고라.
Dungan Tongo, Dunga the no
누만
shit.
통고마다 걸어서 그냥 나올라 기부지 내려랬어.
Cheta
내가 요 말하던 저게 주지 든바라 내가 들려 요 말했어. 그거는 저 로네 되네 칼라지 우주 속어서 대강에 요 말했어. 그래서 좀 많아지도 안 되라 되네 배. 내가 다 탈바톤들로 가르치게 말했어.
Cheta Tadanga Kobe, they were Rapajilla in the dead.
And so yeah, that's true that in order to have the renunciation, you have to have that wish wanting to achieve liberation all the time, throughout day and night. I mean, it doesn't have to be manifesting all the time, and when you're doing something else, it's not going to manifest at that time, but it has to be there, right? It has to be in the back of your mind. It's still there, and so it has to be like kind of obvious all the time that you have a wish to achieve liberation. All the time. So in order to have the wish to achieve liberation, you have to see the suffering. Why you want to achieve liberation? Why you want to be liberated? Because you don't want the suffering. And if you don't see the suffering, then it's really difficult to have that wish wanting to be free from that, or wanting to achieve liberation. And of course, many of us, we don't understand our situation as suffering. They said, "Oh, I'm so happy. I just, I'm enjoying. I'm having good food. I'm, watching, entertaining movie and all this. This is so nice, So why I want to be free from that? I don't see that as suffering. So when you don't see that as a suffering, then you will not have a wish to be free from that.
Mhm.
And you will not have a wish to achieve liberation. So because we get distracted, we get attached and distracted, by these small pleasures, of samsara. Therefore, it is difficult. So until we see all this as a nature of suffering, then it's very difficult, to have that thought wanting to liberate all the time.
세상도 내가 좀 막고 있나 리타이 옛날에는 가야만 가도 가든 잠을 들어와도 잠을 해도 둥아래서 잠을 들어와 짱짱하지 찡마도.
So, whether we have to go to work or no, we always have some kind of problem, right? So if you have to go to work, then you have problem of having to go to work. If you don't have to go to work, then you have a problem of not having to go to work, not knowing what to do, and how to spend your time and all these things. So there's a problem all the time. There's a problem, but we have to understand that as a problem. And once we understand that, and then we develop strong wish wanting to be free from that. And that's when this thought of wanting to achieve liberation comes.
제대로나 코를 나사 주주지는 나사 마 먹거나 텔라 탄덕으로도 타약 매 사고 말어 봐. 아니 대하거나 텔라 탄덕으로 치는 된 타약 매대 같은 사대 그러. 어텐다 그러다.
So we have all kinds of diseases which we don't know, and we think, oh, we are healthy, right? But until we know that this is a disease, that we have is a disease, and then we'll not take any medicine, right? And we'll not do anything to be free from that, right? To gain freedom from that. We will not do anything to that. But when we understand that, then oh, this is small, but it can grow big, and I better cure it right now before it becomes very serious. Then you take medicine to get rid of that, like that.
So let's say I have that zeal and I sit down for a whole week and meditate day and night, and I start to see what the Buddha talked about, my mind becoming more liberated. Does that make you want to become more liberated by seeing that?
Seeing what?
Seeing the, I don't know the word he used, obscurations go away, and you start, because you're now having the time to meditate, and you start seeing the benefits. It's not the correct word, benefits, but then does that increase your zeal to want to be more liberated and free? It can go the other way. I know you talked about a problem after a problem. You're never free of a problem. There's always a problem. But let's say you sit and you start being free of your delusions. You start seeing the obscurations go away. So then does it get easier to want to have that liberating thought to do this day and night?
아니면 녀모도 파 쉬워이나. 근데 먼저 탈바토도 로데 내게 레라게 그래서.
야, 되네. 그 소리야. 녀모째면서 타와들로 깨고 그래. 콘로랑에나 콘로 마사 같이. 매직 이제 그
지다 녀모도 충을 도고나.
아니.
녀모도 충을 도와이나. 근데 탈바토도 로데 게 레라요 그래서.
다들 용거잖아. 돈도 용거잖아. 녀모 파 총으로다 그다 총으로 말아.
So how do your delusions become less? Right? So you do the practice, right? You do the practice. Like say somebody become angry and somebody says something bad to you and you don't get angry. So that way you have decreased your delusion, right?
Right.
Yeah. So if you do that, yes, that will help. You to generate renunciation.
Okay.
So if you understand the mistake as a mistake and then don't follow that, then your delusion becomes less.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
It's not happen one day, 1 month. Just slowly takes time. Don't meditation 24 hours. It's not good also, because you lose your interest. Just do every day, maybe 1 hour.
Right.
Don't do all the time. Then you do maybe 1 week, 2 weeks, maybe do less than 1 month. Then you say, I don't get anything. I'm tired. You give up.
Right.
Same thing.
Too much zeal is not good either.
Like you eat the chocolate. You eat chocolate just one, it's good. Eat too much, then you got sick. Same as a practice. You need to be very skillful, okay?
Yep.
Okay. What's Asa?
Yeah, so I think if I'm understanding correctly, I'm learning more, that renunciation also is like liberation is also, let's see. So renunciation is yearning for the freedom of suffering for all beings, not just myself. So is it correct? Like for 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, I have a yearning for all beings to be free from suffering. And then I become over eons like Buddha. And then, so this is along the path of accumulation. And then, so then I'm accumulating merit, but also I'm experiencing liberation. And then the more liberation I have, the better I can be for other people. Is it like that?
Karochi.
Better liberation? More
Yes.
liberation
Yeah.
for yourself?
I wanted more, like, is it true that liberation and the way it's described is about yearning for freedom from suffering for all beings?
That's a
Not
Mahayana
just-
renunciation, yes.
Yeah. That's the question, I guess. To
그래서
be on the path,
다
do I have
소소한 마음에 제 생상만 되는 동안 다들 로데도 다 되는 좀 대정인 게 있어라. 해보신 분이.
야, 장주고 샘도 오잖아.
Yes. So that would be a Mahayana, the Mahayana renunciation.
okay. So not the hearer's path necessarily, but the
Yeah,
mind.
they don't have. They're mainly for themselves. Yes.
Oh, I see. Okay. That's good.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, Jennifer.
Thank you, Geshe. I had a question about the etymology for the path of accumulation. I just want to clarify, when you said that the three doctrines are the three higher trainings, and then so where it says a period in which one principally resolves the topics of the three doctrines, you said that is the three higher trainings, and then through hearing reflection, those are the first of the three wisdoms.
고소.
갈라서.
다들 나는 아주 치웠음스다 치웠음데 거래했어. 다
알레나
경험이 다 가는
주소도
것도.
지티 봐. 다내가한테 라와섬 라이 봐.
그래.
라와섬도 그 제자들어. 다때 제제게 내내섬도 고. 주섬라다 라와섬지. 다때 제제게 가지. 내내섬랑 켜 봐서. 내내섬 그 주드니는 또 주드니는 또 안에 즉 때나 봐봐서. 즉도 나섬 단가.
지도니에서 직당. 다 가는 것도 도섬니가 보냈어도. 도섬니가 보냈으면 돼.
어느 다 두바다 삼바. 두섬니가 보내 다또 두발은 다 틀으라고 그러와. 두섬니가 거는 또 두발 찍으랬어. 다 두발은 다 두드니는 틀었지 그래서.
그래. 내가 도섬니도다. 나도 지금 도섬 토바스 라면도.
또 두발을 다 두바 집에 가 버렸어.
Yeah, so these are the three doctrines or the three trainings, and which are the topics, of the three the baskets of teachings, right? And so so when you do the study, when you practice or study, first you have to study, the three baskets of teachings, and then you have to reflect on that or contemplate on that, and then you meditate on those. So among these three. You mainly do the first one only, just the hearing, and or study. You just do the study of when you do the study, you do of the two word and meaning. You just do the word, study of the word, of the three baskets of teachings, which are subjected by whose topics are the three trainings. Yeah, mainly doing the study, But of course, they can do the reflection and meditation as well, but mainly doing the study or hearing.
Okay, I just wanted to clarify because so we have the three trainings, the three baskets of teachings, but then when we talk about the hearing and reflection, we're talking about the three wisdoms, the wisdoms of hearing, contemplation, and meditation.
Yeah.
실합숨, 도섬.
투주,
또
투주,
특별 셔럽.
투주, 삼주, 공주. 와타소
네.
투주 셔럽.
Yeah. So mainly it's the wisdom arising from hearing.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Margaret, you have something? Are you guys cold now?
Sorry, I had to unmute. Thank you, Geshe. No, do you mind just listing, just sharing what are the 3 baskets of teaching or the 3 higher trainings? Which
담주 좀 말랍셔도. 테레바데 되네 섬려와.
Yeah, the kaza dodedenu, mombedenu. So there's the sutra teachings, baskets of teachings on the sutra, and then there is Vinaya, and then phenomenology. So the 3. So all these different subjects,
예성은
teachings on that.
대 가르쳐줘 제작셔라. 셔럽절라와 띵엔절라와 트름절라와 지제 토지는 콜 안에 가로 되네 섬랍셔 그래서.
And so any kind of teachings, whose subject matter, is either so the training of morality, training of concentration, or training of wisdom. So depending on that, then it's called whichever teaching has the subject matter of the teachings on the training of morality is called the baskets of teachings on Vinaya, or the disciplines like that.
Okay. So Sutrayana, Vinaya.
Sutra, Vinaya, and the Ngompati also like the realization, clear realization.
Mahamudra? No.
No. tekha가래요.
So that will be different again.
야나 랑마도 뭐 야나 라이나 no do it.
So you don't say yana; it's just the sutra. The that was the denoso.
몸비 되네. 아니
Ngompati 가르쳐줘.
저 띵엔데 라와.
Ngompati 가르쳐.
저 띵엔데 라와. 아니 노데데 저 샤랍게 라와. 노와데 저 트름게 라와.
So denosumra.
노데데는 데웨데는 몸비 되네스.
네, denosum.
되는데 이거 제작처럼 따지로.
네.
Morality, wisdom, and what was the other one?
Concentration
Oh, concentration.
Concentration, yeah.
and morality.
Mhm.
Who talk about the concentration, and who talk about the wisdom. What talk about what talk about this book, with a shut up
Sure, wisdom.
Another book is okay. What this about talk about? It's concentration. The another book, okay. What this part of it? And how you say? How you say? Morality.
Morality. Okay.
So I'll give you the definition. It says the first one is the baskets of teachings on moral discipline, mainly emphasizing the training of ethics or training of morality. And then there's then it's called the teachings, in the baskets of teachings in discourses. So mainly emphasizing the training of concentration. And then there's Abhidharma, or the baskets of teachings on knowledge. And that's mainly emphasizing the training of wisdom. So those are the 3 baskets of teachings. So in there's a Vinaya, I don't know if you heard that, and then Sutra, Vinaya Pitaka, Sutra Pitaka, and then Abhidharma Pitaka.
Oh, okay. I've heard the Pitaka.
Those are the 3 baskets.
I didn't realize. Okay, that's okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's correct.
Good, thank
It's
you.
correct, Jennifer. Correct. Bob, it's correct. 제자 내내 라와섬 제자 체배차네 내내 섬랍샤로.
Yeah, so because they have the subject matter of the 3 trainings, therefore they are called 3 baskets of teachings.
제자 빼셔야 된 고점 삼을 아니 빼셔야 돼 가르치자 시겠지만야 사제 가르란 좋아지는 대하고 그래서.
And then also, at the beginning of the composition or the text, whatever Buddha or the realization it pays homage to. Depending on that, it will explain, what is the subject matter of that text.
대만에 저도 저 빼자디 가시오 가라하고 그러나 빼자 따서 말마 담보 고스는 아니 가로 라 가란 좋아지게 학 될때는 하고 빼자디 가시오 하고 그랬어요.
And so by seeing to which Buddha it is paying homage to, you can tell, what's the subject matter of that text.
나 탐전 제발라 샤달로서 나 아니 된 더와이 봐 내외 되네 봐 하고 그랬어. 내외가 아니 네 다시 타와도 산지 좀 된데 딱 가도 뭐지 하고 말세나.
And like say at the beginning of the text, it says if it pays homage to the omniscient one, to the know of all aspect or the omniscient mind, then it's going to be about Vinaya, the Vinaya Pitaka.
아니 산제도 샤좀 선바토라 샤달로서나 대 아니 노디 되네 봐 하고 그랬어. 되게 제자한테 또 샤랍게 나와지.
So if thing is love,
땡에도 가로.
do the thing is love.
오다 때 되네 땡에 되나? 땡에 되나 좀 말. 잠배하라 셔도 말어.
Then Jambas 다들 오더라.
샤랍 다
샤랍.
땡이 투도서다.
And so if it pays homage to all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas at the beginning of the text, then it shows that it's going to be text on the sutra, Pitaka, or the subject matter of which would be the concentration. And then if it's paid homage to like Menjushri, Menju Gosha, then it's going to be the subject matter is going to be the training of wisdom. That will fall under the Abhidharma Pitaka, the baskets of teachings on knowledge.
오케이. 제다다다 무도지가 가다 사제다 세제다 맡으려 차돌라 버렸어.
So at the beginning, of the text, clear an ornament of clear realization, it says pay homage to all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas.
제다는 노디 되네 자기 그랬어.
And therefore it falls under the category of the Suttara Pitaka.
아니 제자다 띵에 또 제 소셔도.
And the subject matter is the mainly, is the main subject matter, is the concentration training of.
But I'm lucky I just found here.
That's
Okay.
Because it says for the 8 categories in 70 topics, it pays homage to Mandragosha.
그래서
But you're saying in the root text, in the ornament, it's to all.
야.
먼저 던다 뒤에라. 벌써 8 what?
In Jetsun Chokyi Gyaltsen's 8 categories in 70 topics, it pays homage.
네, 던던주는 거.
Yeah.
알레야.
던던주도 가르는 것도 있는데 ngombe 되는 거였어. 던던주도 ngombe 되는 거지. 되네 단다 가서 ngombe 긴디 너대 되는 거였어.
텐 로요 말다.
가서는 던던주라 하는 거죠. 단다 잠배하나 차돌로 손쳤어.
알레래.
아니 가래 ngombe gelade 상계도 전সম을 탐조 차돌로 돼.
야.
ngombe gel라?
야.
왜?
야, 니도 쇼와 좀 기신이 이제 저서 그냥 롤라 보면 어떤 말이래.
눈도 잡아가 안 된다면 너무 없는.
까도 시대 그런 걸 거나 이거 돼.
네.
어다 대야 다 지선야 소소 샤라페 같이 돼. 아니 남은 그런 배저고 가야세. 야고 또 샤라페 같이 돼. 야 제작선은 제거서 말해.
Yeah, maybe it's not necessary in this case, just to develop more wisdom and pay homage to Menju Gosha.
So, Ben, what is the first one, Damcho?
Oh, in the 3 baskets of teachings?
So Manjushri, there's all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, and then there's
The omniscience.
omniscient. Okay.
Okay. Now we finish. Okay. I hope you can maybe a little bit understand this one.
Saji Puki Jukshin Meto Tram, Rirab Lingjin Degen Padi, Sangi Jindu Mikde Waki, Drokun Namdak Jing Lacher Parshuk, Idam Guru Ratnamanda Lakam Niryatayami. In that snow mountain encircled land, source of every benefit and joy, may Lord Tenzin Gyatso Chenrezig remain in life till samsara's end. You who uphold the subduer's moral way, who serve as the bountiful bearer of all, sustaining, preserving, and spreading Majana's victorious doctrine, who masterfully accomplishes magnificent prayers honoring the three jewels, Savior of myself and others, your disciples, please, please live long. Through this virtue, may I swiftly, having gained Guru Buddha state, place each and every sentient being without exception in that state. Precious supreme Bodhi mind, may it where unborn arise and where born never decline but increase forevermore. Mik meit se we ter chen chen rezik, dream kin pe wang po jam pel yang, gang chen ke pe su gen song ka ba, lo sang gra pe jab la so wa de.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Geshe-la. Thank you, Damchala.
Have a wonderful good night.